Sometimes we just want something short and engaging to keep us hooked. You know what would do the trick? A 12-episode anime of your favorite genre. So with that in mind today, I'm bringing 10 anime that only have 12 episodes and are the best in their genres. As usual, we plan on bringing more videos in the future, so don't forget to stay tuned by hitting the subscribe button, along with the bell notification icon. With that said, here we go. Number 10. Terror in Resonance. Want a blend of terrorism mixed in with thriller elements? Terror in Resonance tells the story of two terrorists who threaten Tokyo. A retired genius police inspector soon gets into the case and tries to unravel the mystery behind the threats. The story does a great job narrating both sides of the conflict. You get to see the backstory of the attackers as well as the police who have the moral high ground. Themes of childhood and nurture are brought up, and this is used to craft well-written characters. The 12 episodes of this series will be enough to tell you how great anime can be when adapting any sort of niche. If you need a genius main character plus some emotional story and a fast-paced thriller, this is the show for you. Number 9. Be the Beginning. Back during the times when Netflix threw out Devilman Crybaby, another anime series that got equally discussed was Be the Beginning. Be the Beginning happens in a technologically advanced world where a serial killer called B leaves out a blood trail in the city. Now it is up to a detective named Keith to find out the reasons behind these killings. It is amazing how Be the Beginning combines a simple yet engaging mystery to a larger plot involving supernatural events and criminal organizations. B is honestly one of the best mystery anime you can binge watch. If you haven't heard of this one, it's because it's underrated, but the show's characters, animation, and its mystery is indeed top-notch. Number 8. Baccano. Mystery shows always tend to limit its cast for the sake of emphasizing the mystery or to keep things simple for the audience. But a show like Baccano never takes that gamble. From the very first episode itself, you can see that there are different events happening at different places and times, and only as you watch further in the show you can see how all of these combine together to be a full mystery. Most of the events revolve in the 1930s in a mysterious train known as the Flying Pussyfoot. But later on we realize that the events happening now are also linked to alchemical accidents that happened in the past. Suspenseful mystery with a large cast? You've got it. Number 7. Angel Beats. If you need a little bit of emotionality plus some great fantasy adventure, then Angel Beats is the show for you. The anime starts with a boy named Otonashi who wakes up in the afterlife. He's officially dead, but a mysterious girl with a rifle soon comes to meet him. Calling herself Yuri, she explains to him that they're in a fight against God and his henchwoman, who is a student body president called Angel. The first half starts off like a comedy with plenty of funny moments, but as things start to intensify, the anime turns dark pretty soon. The more battles that Otonashi fights against Angel, the more he questions who the actual villains are. The anime does a nice job giving a fast-paced story with all the high school elements mixed in. Number 6. Anohana, the Flower We Saw That Day. Okay, remember the tissue box I mentioned? Well, try to hang on to it, because Anohana is popular for making the viewers cry at the end of each episode. Anohana takes a close look at the delicate topic of friendship, life, and how to come to terms with it. It features a group of childhood friends who lost one of their friends, Menma, at a young age. The group grows up into teenagers and they start to drift apart further and further, but they still harbor feelings of guilt towards Menma's death. Now back as a ghost, Menma finds that she is unable to move on until she helps her friends come to terms with her death, and to get them back together as a group. We know that by the end, Menma disappears having accomplished her mission, but it's still heartbreaking to see it happen, and to see how each of her friends slowly come to terms with her death. Number 5. Deadman Wonderland. After watching this anime, you'll never even think about going on trips with your classmates because one such trip is enough to turn your life upside down. When young Ganta Igarashi and his classmates decide to go on a trip, all his classmates are killed and Ganta is held responsible. Now he is thrown into a prison where he needs to perform various death games in order to survive. Prisons are bad, but the prisons in Deadman Wonderland is something even the worst prisoners wouldn't dream of. But this is what plays to the anime's advantage as we get suspenseful 12 episodes of Ganta trying to survive in the worst hell possible. Number 4. No Game, No Life. Speaking of death games, let's move on to an anime with slightly less stakes. Sora and Shiro are one of the most interesting siblings to land on an isekai world. These two are hikikomori step-siblings who are known in online gaming for their skill and talent. One day, a god challenges them for a game and tells them about a fantasy world ruled by games. Sora and Shiro at first think it's a joke, but all laughs are gone when they are transported to the world themselves. Here, everything is solved by playing games, from a minor street brawl to conquering countries. No Game, No Life is one of those unique shows that can keep you hooked purely because of its masterful world building and games. Number 3. Violet Evergarden. Enough about death games and thrillers, so how about we move on to something melancholic and sad. Violet Evergarden is a story about love and life. It tells the story of Violet, an auto-memory doll who returns back after the war to blend back into society. But as she arrives, she still holds the memory of 3 words her former captain said before her death. I love you. The narrative then moves forwards to explain how Violet does her daily chores but also learns a very important lesson about life, and gradually starts to understand the meaning of the words her captain said. The show has scenes that can make you cry and make you happy at the same time, and is one of the best anime dramas to ever exist. Number 2. Classroom of the Elite.
本当に愚かだな、お前たちは。
I know it's rare to find anime without high school, but how about an anime that plays the trope really well? It happens in a future where the Japanese government has established the Tokyo Metropolitan Advanced Nurturing School, where students are taught in a more carefree manner in order to foster a generation of people that can support the country in the future. We follow Kiyotaka Ayanokoji, an introvert and a rather silent boy who doesn't want to make any friends and minds his own business. But he meets a girl named Horikita, and the events around him forces him to help his class overcome the obstacles the school presents to them. Kiyotaka can seem like the silent boy who knows nothing, but you never know what's running in his head. Number 1. Death Parade. Do you know where you go after your death? Of course you have to die to find out, but what if I told you that you are sent to a bar where you have to participate in a death game to find out whether your soul is going to get banished or reincarnated? Such is the story of Death Parade, and it is about a lonely bartender named Desem, who begins to think twice about his judgments when he meets a black-haired woman who committed suicide and realizes that she is dead. This anime brings on the concept of death and blends it into a game-like format, giving birth to both a unique and original show that can keep you hooked. If you haven't watched it, now's the time to add this to the top of your watch list. I mean it, seriously. So, what are you waiting for? Binge watch whatever anime you haven't watched from this list, and also, don't forget to remind me of anything I missed down below in the comments section. As usual, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon so you can be updated as soon as we release a new video. With that, stay safe anime fans, and I'll see you in the next video.